Hello everyone. Today our group topic is entry strategy of Costa Coffee. There are 7 group members. The first part we should talk about Costa Coffee is a global chain of coffee companies that focus on innovation and service, with the aim giving customers a better experience of the product. Costa Coffee was originally created by a pair of Italian brothers who, although their experience and background in Italian, created their own style of roasting coffee beans and named the brand Costa. And next, we should talk about the coffee specialist. During the creation process, a strict adherence to the roasting mention of roasting all coffee beans at a low temperature of 22 minutes is observed, and the company's mentions is operate logo that reflect the company's culture and distinguish itself from other coffee industry companies through the design of the products. And the vision is to make the world fall in love with good coffee and to keep on making good coffee. And next is the objectives. The first, to increase sales, to keep expanding the demand for our products, and then spotting exciting customers and increase a new ones. Don't stand fast with the starch hill and but to constantly operations the industry's products to meet the needs to different customers in a new way. And the third, we should talk about increase our awareness. The environment gifts and other creations in public welfare activities to improve the operational image. For the next page, we want to talk about the SWOT analysis. For the strengths, Costa is now the largest chain in the UK, popular with Europeans, and the surveys show that turnover can also be ranked in the top 3. And weakness, the industry products, although loved by Europeans, but not its freedom of global growth, as the taste of products doesn't apply to customer needs. And the opinions, Costa focus on the quality of coffee beans and the roasting process, and the creating increased focus on the quality coffee in some developing countries. So finally, we want to think about the trends. Due to the rise of coffee industry, some fast food restaurants and convenience stores are also increasing their coffee offers, which has led to more competition in the industry.
The next section introduces issues related to the company's products and the export markets. Costa Companies is mainly engaged in high-quality coffee products and the coffee category. Our company belongs to the fast food coffee shop. Costa has many competitors such as Starbucks, the coffee brand, the coffee bean and the life, and McAfee. By 2023, Costa's footprint has expanded from London to 39 countries or regions worldwide, including the United Arab Emirates, China, India, and others. The world's largest Costa store is located in Dubai, which can accommodate more than 320 people. Regarding the export inspection of Costa products, the first is the similarity aspect, which mainly refers to finding the similarity of products in the product area and the market. The second is the knowledge aspect, which mainly refers to the reporting unit of the inspected products, such as the quality of product specifications. The third aspect is distance, mainly culture and geographical issue. Using two examples, the local market coffee shop in British was original a gathering place in the 70s and 80s centuries. The United Arab Emirates implements Arab coffee culture throughout the Middle East, which is an important function for welcoming guests at public events. The fourth aspect is participation, mainly involving competitors and company issuers. Using two examples, competitor Starbucks is the world's leading coffee relator and brand owner. It not only enhances the coffee culture, but also cares for its partners. Competitors McCafe is a coffee brand owned by McDonald's, which is an independent coffee shop and one of the two corners of McDonald's desserts. This is a special business from that create an atmosphere for customers.
Market analysis for Australia and New Zealand. From demographic perspective, according to Australia Bureau of Statistics, Australia is facing an aging population. The median age for capital city is 37.1 years, where the rest of Australia median age is 41.8 years. Costa Coffee needs to make changes of the menu and market strategies to make sure they can appeal to both younger and older age groups. So according to Australian Bureau of Statistics 2021, the average income level in Australia is relatively high, which means that customers may be willing to pay premium price for high quality coffee and premium experience. Income level can vary significantly by region in Australia. Costa Coffee should consider this variation when deciding where to open new stores and how to build its pricing and marketing strategies in different regions. So for lifestyles, Australians lead busy lifestyles and are often on the go. They're known for being health conscious and are increasingly interested in healthy eating and drinking options. They enjoy socializing and often meet up with friends and colleagues over coffee. They should consider creating a welcoming and inviting atmosphere that encourages socializing and interaction between customers. Also, Australia is culturally diverse country, and the customers may have different preferences and tastes depending on their cultural background. Costa Coffee needs to build a strong infrastructure to support the operations when entering the Australia market. Here are the factors that needs to be considered. Location. Costa Coffee needs to secure appropriate location for its coffee shops, such as shopping centers, business districts, and tourist destinations. Costa Coffee needs to establish a supply chain to ensure they have a reliable source of coffee beans, milk, and other ingredients needed for menu items. So next is the PESO analysis for Australia market. Australia is a political stable country. Legal system and business environment is friendly. However, Costa Coffee may need to address some regulatory issues such as obtaining the necessary licenses and permits. And it's a relatively wealthy country with a strong economy and growing demand for high quality coffee and experiences. Australia has a well established coffee culture, and consumers have high expectations for quality, taste, and service. Health and wellness trends are also growing. Many consumers are seeking organic, low sugar, and non dairy options. And since Australia is a technological advanced country, there are many technologies could be used to support Costa Coffee, such as offering online ordering and mobile payments options. Costa Coffee is required to comply with Australian laws and regulations related to business operations, employment, taxation, and intellectual property rights. And they also need to navigate specific regulations related to food and beverage safety and labeling. Environmental factors. The Australia government makes much account of environmental sustainability and environmental practices, and consumers are also increasingly concerned about the impact of their purchases on the environment. For the tariff and regulations, the government is very strict for food safety. All food products must meet the standards. Costa Coffee needs ensure that their products and operations comply with all relevant regulations to avoid any legal issues. According to the Food Standard Australia and New Zealand, there are several standards Costa Coffee needs to follow, such as Standard 161, 142, 262, and 264. The next part is the market analysis for. According to the statistics so far, the population of New Zealand is about 5 million. The population is relatively small, but the demographics are diverse. About 84% of the population lives in urban area. New Zealand is a multicultural society, and the diversity of New Zealand's population can provide both opportunities and challenges for Costa. As New Zealand is a relatively small market, Costa may need to look for new market opportunities to expand its business. Like Costa, for example, could consider opening stores in business districts and areas in major cities, or adding new products and services to its product line. In terms of transportation, accessibility could be a challenge if Costa want to open stores in remote location. In terms of energy, if Costa wants to be sustainable, then they can take advantages of New Zealand's abundant renewable energy generation resources. The political environment in New Zealand is relatively stable and the government is open to foreign investment. This will help Costa expand in the New Zealand market. The high per capita income level and prevailing coffee culture will provide Costa with a relatively stable market and help the company gain higher profit in the high-end coffee market. New Zealand is an open economy, but some goods are still subject to import duties. Costa need to know the relevant import tariff rate and pay the corresponding fee when importing goods such as coffee beans in New Zealand. At the same time, the New Zealand government attached great importance to import plants and plant products, and the detection is quite strict. In order to avoid the invasion of alien species and protect the local ecological environment. The tariff may have a potential impact on Costa pricing strategy in the New Zealand market. If Costa is hit with high tariff, they may need to pass this cost on to the customers, which make goods more expensive. This could affect the Costa market competitiveness and sales. On the other hand, if Costa can achieve lower costs in the New Zealand market, they may be able to increase their market share by lowering their selling price, thus gaining more profit and market share.
In this section, I'd like to mention about the strategies considered to enter Australian market. Costa Coffee is considering expanding into the Australian market due to the growing coffee consumption and higher GDP per capita in Australia compared to New Zealand. Therefore, there are several strategies they can consider to enter the market. One option is franchising, where the franchisor grants a franchisee permission to use their business model, brand, and operational support in a foreign market. This can be a fast and inexpensive way to enter foreign markets, but there are limitations on the control that the franchisor has over the franchisee, and also there is potential for damage to the brand's reputation. Another option is licensing, where a firm allows another firm in a foreign market to use its intellectual property in exchange for compensation, such as royalties. This approach also provides a fast and inexpensive way to enter foreign markets, but the licensor has limited control over the licensee and there is potential for loss of intellectual property. Another one is joint venture, which is another strategy where two or more firms combine their resources to establish a new entity and share the risks and profits. This can provide access to local knowledge and resources as well as the opportunity to enter difficult markets. But there are limitations on controlling the venture, potential conflicts between partners, and risk of losing the technology or expertise. Lastly, ownership strategy involves owning and controlling operations in the foreign market. This provides a high level of control and potential for high profits, but it requires significant investment and comes with high risk, including potential cultural clashes and regulatory challenges. According to Australian Border Force, low tariffs on import and export transactions are implemented, which is expected to benefit businesses in Australia. Additionally, Australia is ranked 15th in the world for ease of doing business and is the 12th largest economy globally, which offers opportunities for growth and success for businesses. In terms of the competitors, Costa Coffee may face competition in the Australian market from Gloria Jeans, Donut King, and Michel's. Gloria Jeans, which originated in the US, began operating in Australia 1996 through a franchising business model and is considered the strongest competitor in the hot drink category. Donut King and Michel's are Australian patisserie and coffee shop chains.
To establish franchising in Australia, there are some rules and laws that need to be followed. According to the national website, the franchising code and code of conduct, the Australian Consumer Law and the Competition and Consumer Act is applied to those who want to join the Australian market. Thanks to the consumer and competition plans, the licensee should obey the ICO standards, storage instructions, best before dates, packaging, and labeling instructions. Also, these competition plans regulate franchisee agreements between franchisee and franchisor and how this agreement is carried out by both parties. Besides other legislations, Fair Work Act, the Australian Securities and Investments Act, Australia's tax laws, and state and territory licensing schemes should be complied by two parties. To take a quick look over the franchising code of conduct, these rules obligate both parties to stay loyal to the agreement. According to the rules, the franchisor should provide all the necessary information to the franchisee, and franchisee should do the same to the franchisor. There should be a cooling off period if one of the parts cancels the agreement. Both parties should treat to other in a good manner and solve problems without resorting to the court. The franchisee and franchisor should be informed due to the probable terminations. When it comes to the financial plan, we will constitute a plan for a single Costa coffee shop located in the Perth City in Australia. According to the presumptions, it is expected to sell 350 coffee and 150 food per day. The unit cost of the product is calculated at around 1.5 Australian dollar, and the selling cost is calculated as the mean number of 4 Australian dollars. And it will give us 7,200,000 Australian dollar yearly in gross income. All the expenses like rent and salaries are taken compatible with Australian facts. As a franchisee, the initial investment covers all the expenses, which should be around 200,000 Australian dollars. In the second year, the coffee shop will compensate for the initial investment and starts to profit.
Costa Coffee should have a distinctive pricing and promotion strategy to take place in the Australian market. According to data obtained from reliable source, franchising is going to price each of coffee and other products around 4 Australian dollars, compete with other coffee services. There will be some promotion like discount, 2 for 1 deal, etc. Costa main strategy should also be forefront to customer satisfaction within these mindset. Customer feedback will always be taken into account to better service. Distribution. In case of distribution channel of Coca-Cola company, which is distribution provider for Costa Coffee, due to the fact that Costa Coffee has a special agreement with Coca-Cola, will be utilized. Also, online food ordering website like Deliveroo, Menulog will be used as well as direct selling in coffee shop. Payment. When it comes to payment, there will be customizable derivative contract called forward contract to prevent investment related risk. As a result, using hedge methods prevent fluctuation in currency of Australian dollar, so probable losses during payment will not become an issue. In conclusion, all in all, franchising is the versatile entry strategy that ensures plenty of business opportunities. Although several drawbacks mentioned in this presentation may endanger in the investment, Costa Coffee will prevail in its strategy by following given recommendations.